Well, welcome back again, Ignacio. Thanks for being here with us again. Well, everyone, Ignacio, let me just go ahead and present him officially now. Ignacio is a transformation manager at Grupo Farina, where he supports schools and teachers to reinvent the way education is lived in the day-to-day classroom, with help of Google for Education and in conjunction with Sinergia Filantrópica de México. He seeks to inspire and develop students' interest in STEAM careers from an early age through competitive robotics programs that contribute to the development of social skills such as teamwork, resilience, and effective communication, alongside technical and technological skills in members of teams primarily involved in FIRST. So, well, welcome, Ignacio, and thank you for being here, and I'll let you go ahead and get started.
Thank you for having me. Hi everyone again. So in this session, we're going to be working with Google Classroom. I I have to stress this. Google Classroom is a topic for like hours, really hours. So I would like to you get like three takeaways. It's how to move around Google Classroom like safely or with confidence, how you can set up a course, and how you can add people and separate or define better how your work is in your classroom. So let's go ahead and do it. And let's share my screen. And okay, so as we are working with the Google Apps, I know I mentioned this earlier, but I can get this opportunity to mention it again. When we are sharing our screen and when we are working with Google in general, we can move through the apps without having to open a new tab, without having any sort of trouble. Everything is within the app menu. Here you will have the, let's say the main apps, which is the Gmail, the Google Calendar, Google Meet, docs, slides, and sheets. But you can have also, you have also Drive, Forms, all sorts of Google apps that are embedded in your Google account. So when you want to go ahead and access Classroom, you'll notice the logo, which is like a student with a whiteboard in the back, and it says Classroom. So when you click there, it's going to take you here. Well, in this case, if you haven't set up any courses or classes, you will see it empty, and it will tell you like, oh, let's start a course or let's join a course. I have this trial class set up because I want to show you some of the characteristics of the students in particular. So let me just zoom a bit. So it's okay. I believe it's better like this. So in this trial class, which I have added myself and Angel, so you can see how someone who's already accepted your invitation to the classroom looks like, and how does it look when they haven't accepted the invitation. So I will show you the main features of Google Classroom, and then we'll move out and we'll set up a new class. So to access, in this case, that what I call trial class, I just have to click on the name, and it will take me here. Here you'll have four main let's say pages. The first one, and or the general one, is the stream, where you will have your name of the class and the details you add, like the room, the building. Well, not in this case in particular, but when we have a building working, you can add it and the room name. Also, the name of the subject, and I'll show you how to add that in a bit. You'll also have a class code and the Meet link, which was something you were asking a bit earlier with Google Calendar. This feature is quite new, well, quite recent, where inside the Google Classroom you can have a Google Meet link to work directly here. Um, some things that we've noticed with this type of Google Meet link to, let's say, live classes, it's that since the Meet link never changes, if someone gets it by mistake, you can have unknown people enter your Google Meet. So let's be, well, I have to be stressful about this. You can change it. Well, I suggest you to change it regularly. I will show you how to do that in a moment, but let's focus on the main team here. So in the stream, you will have everything you publish. You will show it here. It will say if you have an announcement, if you publish some homework, if you publish some materials, if you publish some exams, everything will show here. Let's say it's like the newsfeed in any sort of social network. And in upcoming, you will see every homework you left them in this case for the next week. This is only for the next 7 days. You will see if I don't know, I published, let's say, eight homeworks. The 8 homeworks will show there, and they will tell me when is it due and at what time will the homework will be due. So you have like an overview of your course here. In this case, the image you're looking at, where there's some headphones and notebooks, it's generated by Google, but you can change it and add any kind of image you would like to, let's say, resemble your physical classroom. And that's the stream part. We can move now to classwork. In classwork, we will have, like it says, everything related to the classwork. You can add materials, you can add themes, you can add homework, you can add Google Forms as a homework. Here is where you filter and organize all your materials. Will it be a PDF, a document, a spreadsheet, a slide, a presentation, or in this case, a homework? You can organize it here. How do you organize this? It's you go to the button of Create. In Create, you'll have a menu with these options. You can have an assignment, you can have a quiz assignment. The difference here is that an assignment, you can add a Google Doc, a PDF, a presentation, any kind of document. Well, in quiz assignment too, but the difference, or let's say the main difference between assignment and quiz assignment is that it will generate, in quiz assignment, it will generate automatically a Google form, so you can edit and work with it as a questionnaire, or in this case, quiz. The next option is a question. In this case, the question also has a due date and a time of the due date. But the main difference between this and an assignment is that the question is a way for you to spark a discussion or add a question, so you can assess the understanding of any kind of topic you just taught, or let's say the main idea of the course. So the students can publish their ideas or also their questions about the theme or topic, and you can see it as a stream, like a newsfeed in any social network. The next option is a material. In this case, what Google Classroom means with material is a resource for the students, let's say, to study or to go to without being assessed, or without having quiz, or without having to hand anything in. You can add any kind of documents, links, PDFs, pages, any kind of document. Here, the main difference with the assignment, quiz assignment, and question is that the students don't have the option to give any materials to you or turn in anything. And the almost last option is the reuse post. In the reuse post, you can have any other kind of a post you made, be it assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, and reuse it in case you need it to be on top or you need it to be emphasized. It's the main purpose of a reuse post. And the last option is the topic. And here's where you organize everything. If I create anything, let's say I create a material, and I'll call it, okay, got it. I'll call it a material 1. we can add from Google Drive a link in case you need to add, I don't know, a reading from any other page, a file. In this case, the difference between the option Google Drive and the option file is that, well, Google Drive, as it says, it will take you to your Google Drive and you can select the file that you want to upload to this material. And with file, it will open you your local storage in your computer. It will say, let's go to the desktop and have a PDF that I have downloaded here and uploaded, in this case, to the material. That's the difference between a file and Google Drive. The first one, well, in this case, Google Drive will take you to your Google Drive, where you can select the options, and the file will take you to your local storage in your computer. That's the difference between those. Link, it's any page you want to or you need to add. And YouTube, it's, well, in this case, a YouTube video. I recommend highly the difference between link and YouTube, because the link will only say the title or the name of the page, and YouTube will show a miniature of the video. So that's an important difference. Or you can create, in this case, you can create a Google Doc, a slide, a sheet, a drawing, or a forms. The difference between this and adding is that create, well, as the button says, it will create a new one, and the add button will only add one we've already created. So that's the main difference between those two buttons. On the left, we will have three options or three menus, where it will ask me which of my classes does this material goes. In this case, I only have the trial class, so it's only that option. But if I would have, let's say, 4 or 5 classes more, I could open this list, which in this case I can't, and select both my classes if, well, it's appropriate to publish the same material in those both classes. If I select 2 or more classes, it will publish for all of the students in both classes. But the great difference here is that I can select the students that I can publish this material. Let's say is for, in, well, this case, Angel, that he needs to study a bit more this material one. Let's say it's about history, because he's a bit behind in the themes, so he can study it. So I can publish only for him. That's quite a useful tool, because all of the other students won't be able to see this. Only the students which I specifically published to will see it. And the last option is the topic. In this case, I have no topics created, and I'm going to let it as no topic because I want to show you what a topic is, and I will post it. And yeah, got it. What this works and how this classwork has for you is that if I don't create any topic, it will be publishing stuff as you create it. I'm going to name it that material 2, and I will post it, and it will publish it as a stream. It will put on the top the most recent publication or the most recent material, and, well, the oldest at the bottom. But here's the trick with the topics. I'm going to go to create and create a topic, and it will only show me this this little text option, and it's how I'm going to name this topic. Like, let's say topic 1, and I'm going to add it. In this case, it will create like a difference between the general materials and the materials within topic 1. And the great functionality here is that I can, if I already created these 2 materials and I know they belong to topic 1, I can long press my mouse and just drag it here. And now I can organize my materials by topic. I can create as many topics as I need. If you want to create topics as as evaluation periods, you can do it. If you want to do it as another way, like let's say coding and design, I'm just putting here options. You can also do it. It's really up to you how you organize your classroom. I recommend that you take into account how your students move to the classroom, so you can better decide how to separate or how to divide or organize your topics. But in this case, it's totally open on how works best for you. And let's say we want to create any more topics. Let's call it topic 2. And I'm going to create another topic, just more. Important thing here, and that I want to show you, is that as well as the materials, the topics get automatically organized from oldest to newest. Newest always at the top, but the same way as materials, you can drag your topics and organize them in a way that works better for you. In this case, given that I've named them topic 1, 2, and 3, well, I want them to be in numerical order, so I can drag them and be like this. Even if I created topic 3 last, it's at the bottom because it's, well, in this case, topic 3. But you can drag them as better suits you. Let's say topic 1 needs to be in the middle. Another important thing here is that the materials created within topic 1 are also moved as you moved, in this case, topic 1. So you don't have any trouble with that. And you also have the, let's say, general option, where it's material 2, and you can drag them to, let's say, topic 3. And you can have your topics divided and organized as you need it, and as works best for you and your students. Another cool thing about this is that you have a divider where you can show all topics. You can show topic 2 specifically. Well, in this case, there's nothing there, so it won't show anything. But let's say topic 1, and it will only show materials within topic 1. It will apply the same with topic 3. And it will say who published it, in this case, well, with me. But this is important because if you have co-teachers in your classroom, which I will get there with next, it will show you who published it. So you know, I don't know if it's some due date specific with teachers, or some workflow specific with teachers. You can know how to do it. It's one of the greatest advantages of Google Classroom, that you can know who published it, and well, the students work through that. And that's the main idea within classwork. Another cool thing about here is that you have the Google Meet, which, well, this button will lead us directly to the Google Meet within this classroom, which was a question that was asked earlier with the Google Calendar. This will take us directly. And well, in this case, I haven't set a Google Meet link, so it will ask me. And let's say generate Google Meet link. And this is a cool thing. It's important to see that it has the option of making it visible to students or not. If you want to make it invisible, let's say from 2 to 7 in the morning next day, it won't show you to your students. It won't show the link so they can enter, but you can enter at any time. You as the teacher have like total control of this, and you can set it as if you want, or let's say as when you want the students to go. So let's save this, and look how the button disappeared. This is because I set it that the Google Meet is not visible to students, so they can't access it anywhere. Even in the stream, it won't show. It will show it to me, but it has like a cross tie and says not visible to students. So the button disappears in classwork. Another cool thing about this is that you have a Google Calendar embedded within your classroom, and that's something I was mentioning in the Q&A of the earliest stream. Google Calendar has the option to create, let's call them different calendars. The main differences are the colors, and I will show them to you in a minute. So you can identify which one is your, let's say, main calendar and which belongs to your, in this case, classroom calendar. Let's give it a moment. On the left side of my screen, it will show, there's it. It says Ignacio Rajeda, which in this case, this is my main, let's zoom this because, there we go. Where it says Ignacio Rajeda, it's the main calendar. No, I don't want to tell you again. It's the main calendar. That's where all your events and all your invitations will be thrown to. You will see it in this case, light blue. You can have birthdays, which is linked to your contacts, reminders, and tasks. But here it says trial class, which is a specific calendar for the classroom. So you can see the deadlines, when some homeworks are due, everything you can see it through here. So it's a way to visualize more clearly how your homeworks, or let's say the homework you set out to your students, will be turned in. And the other great thing about this is everything you upload to your classroom, it's saved on your Google Drive. It has a specific Google Drive folder, which will be named trial class. Well, in this case, trial class, because it's how I named this class in particular. But everything is backed up in Drive. Even if, let's say, material 1 has, let's say, 4 PDF. Even if I delete this material 1, yes, I can want to delete. Even if I delete the materials or the material here, the PDFs that I've uploaded to material 1 will be still saved in the Google Drive class folder. And if you press that button, it will take you directly to the folder in about a moment. In this case, it's empty because I haven't uploaded anything, but you will see everything you upload on your classroom, you will see it here. It will also have subfolders for your homework, for the homework you set out to your students. So it will be divided in, it's called homework 1, and you will see the name of the student dash homework 1 and what they've entered or what they turned in. So it's a great way to organize this. Lately, there's been a little bit of a bug where not always it's in the trial class, well, in this case, trial class or the class specific folder. So you have to do it manually, but you're sure that everything you upload to your classroom will be saved in the Google Drive. And well, that's one of the points I was making earlier today, that everything is linked and embedded here. So Google has that sort of workflow, so everything, you don't have to move anywhere. And that's basically how the classwork works. And in People, you will see, and this is how I want to show you this. Here it says the teachers, and well, in this case, it's me because I created this class, but you can add any number of teachers you need in this classroom. If I need, let's say, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 co-teachers, you can add them without any trouble, and they will have all the access you have except for one. Any co-teacher you add will be able to create homeworks, create materials, create topics, reorganize topics, but the only thing they won't be able to do is to delete the classroom. Only the person who creates the classroom will be able to delete it. That's like a big difference between the creator teacher and the co-teachers within the classroom. The co-teachers, like I said, have any sort of option to add materials, add homework, grade homeworks, but they won't be able to delete. Only the one person who created it will be able to do that. And as well as teachers, you can add any kind of, well, let's say any number of students to your class. And there are two ways to add students to your class. The first one is through here, which is the people, and just click in the invite students. It will show you this option. You can type in the email of your students. Let's say it's already added, but just to put it and you can add any number of students at the same time. Well, in this case, Angel's already here, so I won't press invite. And you will see a main difference here. When you add students via email, if someone hasn't accepted your invitation, like in this case, my other email here, it will show as a gray option and in parentheses the word invited. And if someone has already accepted your invitation, it will show you the name. If they have a photo, it will show you the photo, and it's like in full color. So you will have that difference visually here. And the other difference between when a student has already accepted your invitation and someone who hasn't, if you click on actions, I'm going to select only the student who hasn't accepted the invitation. It will only show me email or remove. But if I select students who have already accepted the invitation, it will show you email, remove, or mute. In this case, the mute option is so that specific student, well, in this case one, won't be able to publish anything. And you can mute them and it will say you, it will tell you exactly what you're doing. In this case, it will tell you, the students can still submit their work, but other students won't see it. They can't reply to classmates' works. In this case, if a student is misbehaving with the comments in the classroom, the mute option is it's a great way to avoid it, and they won't be able to comment or post. So this way, you can have like full control of how the dynamic of the classroom is going, and avoid any sort of misbehaving. I personally haven't used this because well, in the classrooms I have set up, uh, usually some kind of email or message to the kid and their parents solves the problem. But if it's something that hasn't been solved with an email, you can mute them and you will have no trouble with this. So I'm not going to mute him. So let's say, and that's all you're going to see here. In people, you won't see anything else. You will see, well, in this case, yourself and the co-teachers you add, and all your students. And I mentioned you that there were two ways to add students. The first one was through the button of invite students, but the other one is in the stream. In the stream option, there's a class code, and it's here in huge. This way, with the class code, students have to enter Google Classroom directly and join the class via entering this code. If the student enters this code, it will automatically show you like this, because as they enter manually, it's Google takes it as they already wanted to be in the classroom, so they don't need any confirmation, and they will be able to enter it. So those are the two main ways to add students. And as I said, here in people, you won't have any more options or any more work to do. You just have to, well, you can just see who is working, in this case, as co-teachers and your students. And now let's move to grades. In this case, the grades tab will show you a list and sort of like a spreadsheet with the names of your students and the homework they have or they should have submitted and your grading. In this case, well, let's add some assignments and let's call it, yeah, got it, and work it to rubric. assignment 1. And here you will have a bit more options than when it was a material. You will have the option for who will it be published to as a whole group or students in particular. And you will also have how many points will this be evaluated by. You can be, or it can be ungraded, which is only if you needed to ungrade it. If you only need your students to submit any work, but you won't have a, let's say, a numerical option or a numerical evaluation, or you can say it's going to be, let's say, 10 points only. And it will show you when is the due date. And the due date, it can be even today, next week, any day you want. So let's say it's for today. And you can put a time, which it's optional. The due date, it's mandatory, but the time is optional. And you can say like 11:59 p.m. So 0 hours of tomorrow in this case, it will be like a late turn. And let's assign this. And I will create another 2 assignments just so we can see the spreadsheet I was talking about. Got it. And assignment 2, it's let's say it's for next Saturday. Let's leave it in 100. And let's say this is topic 1 and assign. And well, in this case, I put 2 assignments in the same topic. It's no trouble. And I'm going to create a third just to be more clear about this. And 3, 100, now the date, let's say it's 20, and assign. As we have these 3 assignments, in the grade options, we'll have next, okay, got it. We have assignment 1, 2, and 3, and the spreadsheet looking page, as I told you. And on the left, you will see the name of the student, and you can have one put here, let's say 100 of 100. Let's say 100. And let's say here it's only half. You'll see here that if you grade like this, every grading says draft. Why does it say that? Because it's only, it hasn't been published. So it's still a draft until you hit return. When you hit return, well, in this case, because we haven't passed the due date, it will tell if you want to return an assignment that hasn't been past the due. So let's say, yes, we want to return it, and return. And in this case, because, well, Angel hasn't published anything in this or turned in, it says not turned in, but it no longer has the draft message. It's like now an official grading. And as you add more assignments to your classroom, as in the stream, the first one you have published will be at the right, and at the left will be added the next one. So it's like a time-based frame. And you will have a class average based in this case of the number of students you have and the grading you gave them. And this is everything about a created classroom. So how do we create a classroom? I'm going to move to the option of the main menu, and it will show me classes, calendar to review the classes I have, and archive classes. So I'm going to go to classes, and I will see that I have in this case, trial class, and it says the due date of the next assignment. And at the top right corner, you will see a plus button. and it will display you a menu with the join class or the create class. In this case, the joined class will have an option to enter a code, the code I showed you. This is how your students will enter your Google Classroom via the code your Google Classroom generates it automatically. But we don't want to join the class. We want to create a class. And it will display you these options. The first one is the class name. That's the only one that's required because, well, how can you create a class if it doesn't have a name? So let's say class 2. You can add a section, a subject, or a room, but neither the section nor the subject nor the room are required to create the classroom in Google. If I delete the name of the classroom, the button, well, in this case, create, turns gray. But if I leave the class 2, the button go. The button create now turns blue, and I can, well, in this case, create the class. And this takes a little bit of time because one, it has to create the Google Calendar, and it has to create the folder within your Google Drive. So that's why it takes a little bit of time to create the classroom. Well, it totally does. So let's generate a meet link directly, and let's say it's visible to students. And you will have your class as I showed you earlier with an image, and you can change the image through the button on the right side of the image, and you can choose any image. In this case, I'm browsing through the predefined options that Google gives me, and this is like the general. You can go to a theme like inclusion history. Let's say we're in inclusion history and want a map, like it's something like geography, and select class theme. And what you will see is that based on the image that you publish as the banner of your classroom, the color of your classroom changes. I'm going to change the theme to a more, so it's more drastic change. Everything became blue, and well, the headlines, the buttons became blue because, well, it's thought as a unity within the banner. Or you can upload a photo, and you can select any kind of photo you have to resemblance the physical classroom or the theme of your class. And this is how you create a class, but you can have different configurations. So we're going to go here, and it's the class settings. You will have the same options as was shown when we created the class. We can change the name of the classroom, add a class description, add the section, room, and subject. But here we're going to have more options. We can go to the general, and we'll see various options. First one is invite codes. The invite codes options will have us to turn off, turn on, or reset. And in this case, I have it turning on, and it's 5GIDKFS, but I can turn it off. What's the difference between turn on and turn off? It's even if some students have the code, they won't be able to enter the Google Classroom if I haven't turned it off. And in this case, let's turn it on again. And it automatically changed it. It now is a BOWQFMD. And let's say we want to change it. So we now click on reset. And we didn't have to turn it off. It just changed, in this case, to 7IDCKBO. So that's a way we can make more secure who enters our classroom and how they enter. We can also display the class code in this way, or we can copy an invite link. And if I copy the invite link and share it via text message, mail, any sort of way, the link will directly send the student or the co-teacher, well, in this case, it's for students, the student directly to add this class as they are students of it. So it's a good way to use it. Next is the option for stream and classwork on the stream. The first one, and it's a general configuration, is that students can post and comment. The idea of Google Classroom is that every student can publish any question, any doubts, any observations. But if you want a more quiet, let's say, a classroom, you can select that students can only comment. So the students will only be able to comment on the classwork or on the publications you do. They won't be able to publish new, let's say, themes. Or if you want to, only teachers can post their comments. This way, the students won't be able to publish or comment anything except their homeworks. So let's leave it like students can post and comment. And the next option is classwork on the stream. This is how you will show the materials, homeworks, questions on the stream. You have three options, which is show, attachments, and details. This will show like an extended version of it, where you will see the description, the links, the YouTube videos, the PDFs, everything you have. Well, let's say you have added to that material will be shown. The other option is show condensed notification. It will show you who published it and the name it published it with, and that's only the only thing we will see. Only after we click on it, it will show the PDF, the links, and every description we have. Or hide notification. If we use the hide notifications, we won't be able to see anything we published on the stream. It will still be on the classwork, but it won't be on the stream of the classroom. And if we want to show deleted items, in this case, I've always had it turned off, because if I've deleted it, because I won't be needing it. But if you want to activate it, it will show in a gray color whatever you delete. But I don't know where I've never activated it, because if I want to delete it, why would I want it there? But I don't know. It's more up to you if you want to use it. Again, the Google Meet Classroom, where we can copy or reset it as the class code, and if we want it to be visible to students or not. And we get to the grading option. In this case, it's more of how we want to grade the general idea of the class. And the first option, the predefined option, is that there is no overall grade, or if we want total points, or weighted by category. What it will do, if we want total points, it will take all the points that all the homeworks were worth, and they will, well, Classroom will sum it out automatically, and you will have let's say an overall. Or if we want to be weighted by category, we can add grade categories and what percentage you want to add. Let's say category 1, and it's worth, let's say, only 5%, and it says you have remaining 95%. So add a grade category, let's say category 2, it's I don't know, 50%, and just another category, and it's worth 45%. So it's full. Notice how if I select the categories, if I haven't taken up all of 100% of, well, in this case, the categories, the button save, it's gray. Only after I put that this third category has the 45% remaining, the save option is available to me. And in this case, I just added 3 categories, so we don't spend more time here. but you can add as many categories as you need. And if you select the weighted by category, it will take the category, the homeworks added to that category, and based on the grading options that you gave them to your students, it will ponderate it based on the percentage you assign it. And in case you have you need a more profound way, you can go to the learn more option, and it will get you to the support page from Moodle, and you will see a more described and more extended explanation of how you can set up your grading. So it's just only at the bottom there more. So let's just save it. And when we already have all these are the main configurations, and we only get this the main idea. And you have let's say the main idea how to navigate to the Google Classroom. The only thing that's left for us is how we can grade homework. So in this case, I will move to the other class I have, which already has some assignments. And we can go directly here because it's due today and it appears. And it says that Angel, I have already given him a 5 out of 10 grade, but we can click, in this case, if he had turned in some kind of document, we can click here and it will take us to another tab where we can see his Google Doc, his Google Slides, his Google Spreadsheet, any kind of document he uploaded. We can see it, we can add comments, we can have an assessment of how well he did the job or how badly. But here is where you have the grading option. I know I already told you how to do it in the general grade options, but here you have an option to do it, let's say, personally. Notice how when I clicked on Angel's grade, it opened me, let's say, a message board where we can add private message for Angel. Let's say he added a document, but it still needs correction. I can add a message like you need to correct option B. Let's say option B, right? And I can send it. And can send it. This is a private comment, and it will only be visible to, in this case, Angel. And he can respond to me like, I've already corrected, I changed it, I don't know how to correct it. And he can have a more personalized option on how to make or how to turn in a better job. And in the same way as in the general grading option, we can either return manually by person or selecting them here, and we can return them. Let's uncheck this. We can select all students and return. And in this case, it's only one, but if you have more students and you have selected them, you can return them at the same time. You don't have to do it manually with all your students. You can do it. You can return them in a bulk, and you can have the same option as to send a message. You can it's not done yet, and you can have a private comment like well done and return, and it will appear in the private comments. And that's basically how to navigate through Google Classroom. And I don't know if there are any questions.
Well, thank you very much for the presentation, Ignacio. It's very, very informative. No, well, a lot of comments here about people learning new things and seeing things they didn't know about Google Classroom. So,
Great
job, yes. We do have a couple of questions. Let's see. Let me go with the first one. Just a second. Okay, here's the first one though. Hello, I'm Guadalupe. Do you have any option for using breakout rooms in Google Meet during the class?
Okay, the Google Meet breakout rooms, it's only available for the Google Workspace Enterprise for Education. It is a feature that that depends on which setting you have for your domain. But the breakout rooms, if you have the Google Workspace Enterprise for Education, you can have the option directly in Meet, and you can set it as how many breakout rooms you need and how many people you want in people present in the Meet. We'll send them.
Okay. Could you repeat that last part because you kind of cut off there?
Okay, wait. The Google breakout rooms, it's only available specifically in Google Meet. You don't have any way to, let's say, create them via the classroom. You have to do it manually inside the Google Meet.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, another question we have here. Can you have subtopics?
No, in this case, you can have only main topics and the materials which are categorized by them. You don't have like the option of, let's say, topic 1 and subtopic 1.1, let's say. No, the Google Classroom doesn't have any kind of option for that.
Okay, so yeah, just name them, I guess, topic after each one. No. The next one, how can you add materials to each topic?
How to add materials in each topic. When you create a material, an assignment, a quiz assignment, you will have the option of the topic. It says a topic, and you can select. If you have created one already or several already, it will show you in a list, or you can add a new one directly within the material. So you don't have to move anywhere. Within the material, you can create another topic if you need to, and it will directly open a new topic.
Okay, perfect. We have quite a few questions, so I'll just continue. Do you have another example with subtopics? Well, no. We can't do subtopics, so I don't think.
Yeah, we don't have really the option of subtopics.
So let's go next one. Could you touch again on repeat about Meet link class?
Okay, the Meet link, let's just move to the main. The Meet link within Google Classroom, it's a unique Google Meet session for the classroom. It has the disadvantage that since it's an open link, it's easier to get in than it would be if it were a link from Google Calendar, but you can create it directly within any class you have, and you can configure it as if it's visible to your students or not. The only difference is that you can always see it, you can always enter it, but your students won't be able to enter it unless it's visible for them.
Okay, perfect. Next one, if I want to use the same class with a new group, how can I delete all the students that were enrolled before?
Okay, so to delete people, let's say you have already created your classroom, you only need to go to the people option, and where it says students, select all of them, and the button actions, you will have to select remove, and it will remove any students that it's selected. So you don't have to, let's say, redo your classroom. You can delete the students and just add new ones.
Okay. Oh, very easy. Let's see, next one. Let's see. Are all the teachers able to delete content?
Yeah, all the teachers are able to delete any content you show or you have in the Google Classroom. The only difference is that the teacher who created the classroom, it's the only one who can delete the classroom. That's the only difference between teachers, well, in general, and the teacher who created the classroom.
Okay, and I think this is a follow-up question to that one, is how do we do that?
Okay, so let me show you which one. I don't know. The question about the deleting
The
students,
content. Yeah. Yes, that one.
about the materials, right?
Deleting. No, sorry, about deleting the content.
Oh, okay. I will show you in my screen. If you want to delete content, I will go to classwork, and here it has 3 dots. Each time I hover my mouse over each material, it appears 3 dots on the right, and I can click there, and it will show me the option of edit, delete, coupling, or move up. In this case, the move up will only alternate the ones I had. It's the same as if I dragged it, but you only need to click delete. The grades and comments will also be deleted because well, it's an assignment and I've already graded it. So I delete it, and we give some time, and it's deleted.
Oh,
And in the grades options, it will no longer appear. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not available anymore. And just a quick update about this, about the questions of how to delete students. Here in the people section, you click on the check mark for all the students, click on actions, and remove. And it will tell you, are you sure want to remove this, in this case, 2 persons, and remove. And this will delete anyone you have selected, but it will remain the same with your classwork.
okay, perfect. And we have 3 more questions here. Let's see, just a sec. This one is, can you share an audio and talk at the same time while you're in the classroom?
Audio and talk at the same time. Uh, Google Drive has a bit of trouble with audio tracks, but you can, let's say, add the audio to your Google Drive, and then select in the materials, create material, let's say material, and add from your Google Drive, and it will show you. Well, in this case, I have mostly videos, so it will appear here your audio, and you can upload it.
Okay. But you would have to do one or the other, right? You can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, you can. In this case, if it's during the Google Meet, well, it will be hard for it, but you can. I guess you could do it, but I would recommend to do it at different times.
Okay, perfect. Next one is, can you, yes, if we can download the grades with specific dates.
Okay, for that option, we have to go to grades, and in this case, we can, how to say it? First, we need that the due dates have already been assigned or have already been passed. And the option for downloading will be available only if the due dates are passed, and it will show you next to the settings button, it will show you download as a Google Sheets, and it will be able to download. But in this case, this is, well, it's not shown here because none of the due dates are passed, but it will show you once the due dates are passed.
Okay, so just next to the settings screen, you'll have that little.
Yeah.
Button. Okay, perfect. And last question I have here is, well, no, I think that's it.
Oh, great.
Yes, I think that's, oh, no, the next one is, how can we create the breakout room?
How can we create a breakout room? Okay, let me create, let me go to a Meet. I'm going to create a Google Meet session just randomly, but it will work the same way if you enter via code or via link or via the Google Calendar. So I'm just going to create a new meeting. Start a new meeting. And we will see that it will, well, in this case, it will be loading. But when it's loaded, we'll see 3 options. It's still trying to get in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, there we go. Well, I think so.
This takes a while.
I just heard the Google Meet entering noise. Great. So, okay, on the top right corner of your screen, you will see, in this case, well, you will see the time, which is, I think it's a great installment for Google Meet, which wasn't available until recently. Let me just turn off the microphone and the camera so it won't take up any of my internet. And you will see a triangle, a square, and a circle, which is the Activities app. And if you click on it, it will show you breakout rooms. It will show, oh, let's zoom in because it's quite small. There we go. It will show you breakout rooms, it will show you polls, and it will show you Q&A. So you only need to click on breakout rooms, and it will tell you set up breakout rooms. Well, in this case, the main call it's only me, but it will show you everyone. And set up breakout rooms, you can say how many rooms do you want. Let's say we need 4. If you want a timer, if you want to shuffle them,
Okay.
if you want the timer, let's say in breakout rooms after a set amount of time, let's say they only have a 5-minute range discussion, right? So we set the timer, and if we want to shuffle them, in this case, nothing happened because, well, I'm the only one on the call. But when you click on shuffle, the persons, or let's say the people on the main call, will be split into the different breakout rooms you have set. In this case, well, I put 5, so I would have evenly separated everyone in the main call to the number of breakout rooms. And I can click on open rooms, and it says breakout rooms are in session ending in 5 minutes. In this case, I, as the organizer of the meet, I can join any of the breakouts. But if you are an invitee of the meet or the call, it will show you a message like this one where it says breakout rooms are in session, and will tell you like you've been invited to breakout room 205 or whatever name you put it, and you only have to click like go there. It will still be it will close in this case. Let's manage this. It will close the main call for you, and you will go to your breakout room, but you can always have a message here that says go back to the main call. And in this case, which I put like a 5-minute timer, and when that time elapses, the people in all the breakout rooms will get a message that it's time to go back to the main call, and you have only to press on go back to main call, and it will return you to the main call. And that's how you set up your breakout rooms.
Okay, perfect. And I have a follow-up question for this, actually.
Okay.
It's this one. But in which kind of meet? Because I can't do it neither in my personal or my school meets. Is this due to the OS?
In this case, it's due to the type of Google domain, or let's say, better said, Google Workspace domain you have. The breakout rooms currently are only available to people who have Google Workspace Enterprise for Education. It's not available yet to Google for Education. This is well, the Google Enterprise for Education is a paid set of accounts. That the main difference is that the Google for Education it's free, but the Google Enterprise for Education it's a paid option. So if you don't have the Enterprise for Education, you won't see it. It will only show you the questions and the polls. So that's why you don't see it. This is given the domain you have.
Okay. No, yeah, I think that's pretty much it there. Okay, perfect. Well, that's the last question we had there. And just from our part here at Mextesol, we'd like to thank you one more time for your participation and your talk. And as just a little token here, we're also going to present you with a diploma, well, the certificate of appreciation for your talk. Thank you very much. It was very informative.
No, thank you for having me.
Yes, no problem. Well, thank you very much, Ignacio. And for everyone else, just a quick reminder, I really hope you found these Google sessions very informative and useful, and that you'll be able to use this information in your classes to better organize your lessons. I want to remind everyone that our next session will be next Saturday, March the 13th. From 11 to 14 hours with 4 ELT speakers. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep updated. Also, for those interested in receiving your diploma for attending these virtual sessions, remember to fill out the feedback form after the sessions. Those links were sent to you guys in your emails. We'll go ahead and post them as well in our social media so you can have them as well. The diplomas will only be sent to the people who registered for the sessions and filled out the feedback forms as well. So on behalf of the whole committee, I'd like to thank you for attending, and we hope to see you next week. Goodbye.